I'm going to explain how our attitudes have some kind of prediction towards our behavior. So with that, every action has some kind of effect towards something. And this is more like a carrier. So one of them could be our emotions. So when we become happy, calm, sad, or angry, it has something to do with the attitude we feel on like an object or whatnot. And most of the time, these attitudes or these emotions that we feel is really dependent on like what we think about this item or object. So, for example, to make it more clear, a person who doesn't like running will have a negative effect or view towards it. But someone who just really likes basketball will feel more positive. So, if we combine those two, using that person who hates running but they like basketball could have like a different effect. So you as a person, if you were to buy them a gift, a birthday or Christmas gift, you probably want to get them maybe a basketball, some tickets, or even like a wristband so they can go play basketball. Compared to like maybe a pedometer or maybe like a waist bag for them to go running in, because you know from their attitude towards those sports has a different effect on them. And this happens with you thinking that, oh, just because somebody has a different view on something, it influences your actions to see that their behavior could be a different thing. So you will most likely buy them like a basketball compared to like a pedometer for like their gift. And not only just our emotions or attitudes, but there are outside influences or other influences that can affect it. And one of those could be a high belief, maybe towards the opposite sex, or maybe towards like religion, culture, or race. So such views can do have an effect. So for example, maybe a child will travel somewhere with a different demographic and the population. Maybe they travel somewhere like India and they would see a bunch of like Indian, like a big population of Indians. The culture is very different here in America. And so a child who's just learning and growing up might see it as like, oh, this is very different towards them. They're gonna have different views, they're gonna think different things, they're gonna have a different behavior towards them. And if they were to compare that to that child in school meeting like an Indian kid for the first time, they could have a positive or a negative view against them. So when this happens, our views or attitude towards someone, maybe a race, religion, or even culture can do have an effect on our behavior when it comes to like petitions, discussions, or any like political views such as voting. So even though the question towards how well does like attitude predict our behavior, I pretty much think that it does have an effect by the way other influences or emotions, the way we look at things can do have an effect on our behavior long term by like doing little changes or even just having a long term like role for it. And even over time, there will be changes. People will start having their behavior change over time because of these attitudes. They might get like different. They might actually be changing over time when they start like experiencing more things from other people or from other objects. So really, it correlates to how we feel, how we think, and this actually influences our behavior.